Hello and welcome. Happy Tuesday. You are live with Sandra at It's All About Choices, where every Tuesday I have the pleasure of dishing out your dose of nutrition and wellness news for your mind, your body, and your soul. And I hope that everybody is having a wonderful week so far. You had a great weekend. You are preparing for the reason for the season next week, family fellowship as well. And so thank you for tuning in live. For those who are tuning in with me, I encourage you to engage, to ask questions, to post, make comments, share your own testimony regarding the topic. And for those who are listening to the replay, I thank you for tuning in and taking time out as well to participate. I want you to feel as engaged as everyone else. So please chime in, say hello to me, and I will look at the comments. I always look at the comments and I respond between the live. So I'm excited to be here with you all today. We are embarking on a 3-week special series, and this is week 1. And we're talking about weight loss, healthy eating. Why is it so hard? I mean, we all have said that from one time or another. And so today we're talking specifically about how well I eat low carb. You eat low carb, but the weight is still not coming off. So, relatable topic for many of us. And so, prior to the season, starting around October, I like to say, many of us are trying to keep tight controls over our carb intake. A lot of times saving it up for the big day, whether that's like Thanksgiving, whether that's Christmas, whether that's New Year's. But next week we're going to, and so we're talking about this low carb thing, how it is really, really real. And so, have you ever said, "I'm doing all the right things"? I'm eating healthy. I'm exercising every single day, but the weight is not coming off. Okay. And one sign that your body needs a reset is when your energy levels are low. If you wake up tired, if you go through your day tired, if you're sluggish by the end of your day, no matter how much sleep you get, you're constantly tired. When your energy is low, guess what? The weight will not come off. Okay. And so feeling tired at the end of a long day is normal to some degree. It's normal. But a constant feeling of rundown, exhaustion, day after day after day, that is not common, okay? And so if you regularly wake up tired, even if you're getting 7, 9, 10 hours of sleep, your body is telling you that it needs support, okay? We push through that all the time because we have things to do, we have goals to meet, but your body is working in overdrive to keep you going. So grab a pen, grab some paper. You really don't want to miss this. I'm going to talk about 3 common mistakes made when trying to lose weight that decrease our energy levels and how to get out of that vicious cycle. Okay. Some people think that this is just a norm, but this is not your norm and it doesn't have to stay your norm. And so for those who don't know me, my name is Sandra Goldtree. I'm a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and I'm also a certified personal trainer. My goal is to simply help you to get through the holidays, get through this time of the year, to achieve your weight goals, to maintain your weight goals during these times without feeling like you have to deprive yourself, whether or not without feeling like you're on a diet. Okay. And I want to help you feel good about yourself. So by showing you how to get your energy back so that you can enjoy doing the things that you love doing. So very simple, nothing complicated about that at all. And so chime in for those who are tuning in. Say hello to me. Let me know that you're on. Let me know where you're calling in from or tuning in from, and let me know what food you're looking forward to eat next week. Okay, we have our favorite dish. Especially if it's something that you only get one time a year. Let me know what that favorite dish is. Okay, and so for those of you who are just tuning in, we're doing a special 3-week series, and it is called Weight Loss, Healthy Eating. Why is it so hard? And so we're talking specifically today about carbs, how many people eat low carbs, but yet the weight is still not coming off. Okay. And so again, I am going to get my windows set up. So give me a second or two for me to see if I can get my windows set up. Still getting used to this new Facebook look. Okay, so I have one window set up, and so I'm going to get my second window set up because I love to engage. I love to refer to you by your name and to answer your questions real time. So please don't hesitate to respond and chime in. So I think we have both of my windows ready to go. All right. And so as I see comments, I will respond. And so I always do a poll. You guys know I like to do my poll question. So let's see where we are And as people are chiming in, so if you have ever tried eating low carb in the name of either trying to lose weight, to get healthier, eat healthier, etc., have you done that? Yes or no? Have you ever tried eating low carb? Okay. And a lot of times, people who are unfortunately newly diagnosed as diabetes or as diabetic, they will try to lower their carbs as well. But we all need carbs, even diabetics. It's just the right amount for the right person. We got to make sure we're eating the right amount for our body needs. So that's really what's key. So if you've ever done anything low carb, tune in. So let's jump into the topic. Okay, so the reality is nutrition, weight loss, exercise, lifestyle changes, they are not as easy as 1, 2, 3 or a Google search. Okay, it's not rocket science, but there are some things that need connecting, some dots that need to be connected in order to make it all work for you. And so if it was all that easy, we all would have our ideal weight. We wouldn't have medications. We wouldn't have stress. Everybody have normal blood pressure, no diabetes, cholesterol issues, no inflammation. I mean, I think you get the point, right? We would just we're living our best life if it was that easy, right? At the end of the day, it is all about stepping into your highest level of health so that you can have the energy levels that you want, so you can feel better, so you can lose that weight, and so you can maintain that weight loss. That's what's really, really important in the most sensible and enjoyable way possible. Okay. So my goal with today's live is to bridge that gap between your eating struggles and the goals that you're trying to achieve, not just for the long term, but for the long term. Okay. We don't want to just deal with quick fixes, because quick fixes usually focus on one thing and other things get neglected. So we want to focus on the long term. We want to focus on the main thing. Okay. And so no better time than now to, talk about Christmas. We're at the beginning of the week. I mean, Christmas is Sunday, right? And so we're going to talk about the 3 common mistakes. Okay. And the very first one that people generally make, and I see some comments. Let me see if I can see them live. If not, I will go to my banners here. Let's see here. Okay, how you doing, Krista? Hey, clone. Okay, I can't see your name, but I'm gonna say hey, clone. So I already know she's somebody in the hundreds. So family. And so let me go back and let me get back to the banners. And so let's talk about where we are at. All right, so you're not eating enough, okay? We're not eating enough. And so let's see here. There we go. Put the right banner up here. You're not eating enough. So that's the number one common mistake. Okay, so a low carb diet is about more than just lowering your carb intake. Okay, you must replace those empty carbohydrates with real nutritious foods. Okay, and so throwing away, you throw away all the processed foods and the low carbs, like you got your Atkins bars, you got your keto snacks, you got your other diet type foods, because they're not really real food and they're not good for your health long term. And so to lose weight, you want to stick to lean protein, whether that's plant-based and or lean animal protein, your fish, your eggs, your healthy fats, your veggies, and you want to balance that. With the right amount or adequate amounts of carbs so that you have premium gas in your tank. That's really what it's all about. And so these treats like, the paleo cookies and brownies, and, they can cause you some problems, even though they are made with healthy ingredients. They're diet type foods. So you got to be really, really careful. And because if you're not eating balanced, that's where the problem comes in. So yes, they're okay for an occasional snack, but nothing that should serve as the cornerstone of your eating pattern. So we want to deal with real whole foods, okay? And so what I want to ask you is, which ones are your go-to snacks for desserts, okay? Because we want to kind of take some shortcuts with sweets, but sometimes that's not the best option. So what are your go-to snacks for desserts? Is it some fat-free type snack? Is it sugar-free snacks? Okay, sugar-free snacks, it still has sugar in it. It's just artificial. Gluten-free, okay? I mean, it has really nothing to do with sweets, but some people feel that gluten-free provides an additional health benefit, even when you don't have celiac or gluten intolerance. Then you have your paleo snacks. You have your keto snacks. So which ones are your go-to snacks when it comes to foods or desserts? Okay. Because I know the calories tend to be calorie controlled, and so they're inviting. I understand that they're inviting. So which ones do you currently have in your kitchen? So let's fess up. Which ones do you currently have? And if there's something that's not listed here, I would love to hear about it, because there's always new stuff. It's hard to keep up with it. Fat-free sometimes. So it depends, fat-free, it depends on the food. It really does. So fat-free, definitely when you're dealing with dairy, like a low-fat yogurt, low-fat milk, chocolate milk, you definitely, or any kind of low-fat, any kind of dairy, you definitely want to go with low-fat, fat-free, etc. But when it comes to, some of the snack foods, kind of have to be careful because it's replaced with something else. So we got to figure out, okay, if they're pulling the fat out, what's being added back in. So something usually is always being added back in that's a little bit more artificial in nature. Okay. And so let's move on down. So share where you fall. And I definitely want to hear about that. And note that gluten-free, I always like to talk about gluten-free, is not a diet food. It's not a diet food, nor is it related in any way to weight loss. So I know I have a lot of people who share with me, or my clients share with me, I felt better when I took away gluten and my bloatedness went away and my inflammation went away. But that's really not the case. I always like to share, well, when there are many nutritional deficiencies already present, then your body will react and not react to things in an abnormal way. And so if unless you have officially been diagnosed with celiac or some kind of gluten intolerance, there is no reason to go gluten-free because there are nutrients that are being stripped from that food in order to make it gluten-free that needs replacing in the form of supplements. So it's a lot more to the equation. So those are those dots that we talk about that unless you're trained, you wouldn't know that those dots need connecting. So you got to be careful when you're cutting out things when it's not medically necessary. Okay, so that's the bottom line there. All right, the second mistake that people tend to make when they're trying to lose weight that does slow down their energy levels and it will hinder weight loss is not getting enough sleep. I cannot stress this one enough. Sleeping is so important. It dictates our whole being. It dictates the choices we make, how we feel, how well we're able to concentrate, etc. So it's very, very important for overall health. Study after studies continue to show that lack of sleep is a direct correlation with weight gain and obesity. So that continues to stay proven. And so this gives us more proof that weight loss is not as easy as 1, 2, 3 or a Google search, and it's not just about food and exercise. So you hear me say, if you follow me, that weight loss is not about weight loss, and it's not just about food. Okay, self-care is very, very, very important, and sleep is one of those categories that fall under self-care. So a lack of sleep can make you feel hungrier. It can also make you feel more tired and less motivated to want to eat healthy and less motivated to want to exercise. So all that stuff impacts, okay? So sleep is one of the key pillars of health. It really, really is. And so if you're doing everything right, but you're still not getting proper sleep, then you still won't see the results that you're looking for, okay? So that is so important. And so getting adequate sleep is an area that I generally attack number one with new clients because it's the most difficult because it requires a change in your lifestyle. It requires a change in your routine, especially your evening routine. We have so many things that we're doing that stimulate us and it keeps us up and so many things that we're stressing about. And so all these things aid into us being able to even put our heads down to fall asleep. Because a lot of times people will say, oh, I have such a hard time falling asleep. But there's reasons for that. And so those are the things that we work through. So it is so vital and it's so vital to make sure that we are addressing, and you have to make those shifts in your lifestyle in order to make time for sleep. And so I hear often 7 hours of sleep. I don't have time for 7 hours of sleep. That means you're too busy. I mean, in a nutshell, and I'm not exempt. I have to check myself every now and then when I find myself slacking on the sleep. So it's very real. And it's something that we have to deal with on a regular basis. And so I want to know, so how many hours of sleep are you getting on most nights? Okay, so ideal is 7 to 9 hours. So I focus on trying to get you to 7. So 7 to 9 hours is ideal. Of course, the more the better. 6 to 7 hours, are you getting 6 to 7 hours, or are you getting less than 6 hours? Okay. I have a lot of people that say, oh, well, I get 6.5, but surprisingly, those 30 minutes times 7 days, it makes a difference. It makes a difference over the long haul. So how many hours of sleep are you getting on most nights? Okay. And so before I get into mistake number 3, I have a question. We want to get you ready for a 3-day challenge, one of my most popular challenges of the year. We're kicking off the new year. And so post if you want to start crushing your sugar cravings. All right. We got Christmas coming up. So lots of homemade baked stuff, lots of sweets and things of that nature. So my challenges are far from typical. So you will have much in store in just these 3-day meals and recipes and training and support. So tune in to next week's live, and I'm going to give you all the details on the special event that is only offered once a year. But I'm very special. I'm very excited to kick off the new year, trying to crush those sugar cravings so we can attack it head on. Okay. And so back to common mistake number 3. Okay. So the third mistake that people tend to make that hinders the weight loss and will also will actually decrease your energy levels. Okay. And this is a big one. Let me see here. I think I see some comments in here. So let me go to some comments and see what we have here. 6 to 7. 6 to 7. So we're getting close, getting close. And you're going to have your periods where the good thing is you have your periods when you're going to get a little bit less. But if you're getting 7 hours of sleep more than not, then after a day or two of not getting 7 hours of sleep, your body is able to tell you. And always know that these are your body's survival mechanisms. So you don't want to ignore them. We tend to ignore them. We know we got stuff going on. We got stuff we got to deal with. But if your body is feeling sluggish, that's a sign that we need to do something before it progresses to something more than that. So listen to your body. Allow your body to protect you and give it what it's asking for. Okay? All right. And so number 3, our final mistake that people tend to make is restricting calories or carbs for too long of a period of time. Okay. So it's not a good idea to have the body in a severe calorie deficit for a long period of time. Okay. And so honestly, it's not necessary. It's really not necessary to restrict to the point of deprivation. Okay. In order to lose weight or to improve your health outcomes. Okay. Yes, you'll see some benefits short term, but at what cost? Okay, there's usually a cost when something is short term like that. And on top of that, people don't sustain it. Okay, it takes one unexpected life event to happen, and then what you're depriving yourself of and that regimen that you're following just tends to unravel. So we want to be careful about how we approach this. Okay. So what is deprivation? We hear deprivation a lot, but what is it exactly? And so I saw one post one day, I'll never forget this, where this person, she was on keto, celebrating their current weight loss. Okay. So in that post, it said specifically, I am craving pizza so bad. Like she had like 5 or 6 O's behind the S, so bad. And it was in all caps. And one of the main reasons why severe deficits are not good for the body, because it's going to heighten your level of cravings. Okay. It's your body's going to tell you what it really wants. And so you're heightening that. And so my reply was simply, well, eat some pizza, eat a slice of pizza. That is not going to derail everything you're doing. Now, it does depend on your approach to losing weight, because if you have deprived yourself, you probably are not able to stop at one slice. You're going to have to keep going. You're not going to want to side salad with it to round it off and things like that. You're going to want to eat half the pizza or the whole pizza. So the moral of the story, if you are having strong cravings that control you, okay, on a regular basis, that is the number one trigger that deprivation and that too much restriction is going on. Okay. So you want to have a balance. Okay. Sometimes slow is better long term, because that will help your body less feel the shock of feeling deprivation. And so, yes, we will have cravings, and that is normal. Okay, it's normal. But here's the key: you want to stay in control. You want to have the ability to control the cravings versus the cravings controlling you. Okay, and that's kind of what this 3-day challenge is all about: is getting your foot wet and how to do that. And so, this one I'll give you for free. Okay, so willpower, yeah, it'll win a few battles. You can say no to that piece of cake or no to whatever it is that tempts you. So that'll happen every now and then. You'll win a few battles, meaning, but over time, those feelings of deprivation will kick in, and they will become uncontrollable cravings, and it will win. The cravings will win at the end of the day. I mean, it always does. And I'm not exempt. So it always does. Let's see here. See if I see some comments. So less than 6 hours of sleep. Yes. So inch your way up. Somebody stated they're getting less than 6 hours of sleep. So will it happen overnight? Will you go from less than 3 or 4 hours of sleep to 7 hours overnight? Absolutely not. But start thinking about your evening routine. Okay. And one of the things that I have my clients do is think about from the time you come home to the time you go to bed, just write down, brainstorm everything you do. We're not putting a priority on it. We're not putting a level of importance on it. Just jot down every single thing that you do so you can actually see it. And I'm sure that alone will shock you. Okay. And then from there, decisions have to get made. But first see what you're trying to get accomplished in a short period of time if you're trying to achieve getting 7 hours of sleep. So it's all about setting boundaries, okay? And that's one way to set boundaries for sure. For sure. It's a hard one to set, but it's an important one to set. All right. And so let's rate your cravings meter. So what's your cravings meter as of today? Okay. So when do your cravings actually hit? Okay, let's start with that because some people have a very specific time of the day when they know everything just kind of unravels. And it seems in most cases it's repeatable. So when do your cravings kick in most? So is it afternoon, like between lunch and the end of the workday? That is very common. Okay, that's probably majority of us. So is it afternoon between lunch and the end of the workday? And if you didn't have lunch, we'll just say between 1 and 5. Or is it late night? Very common. Late night cravings, especially if you stay up late. So here's a key. Here's another one I give you for free. Staying up later and later and later, eventually you're gonna get hungry. You're gonna want to munch. So that kind of heightens that as well. And then what about occasionally? So maybe just under extreme situations or stressful situations. Okay. So that's a little bit different. So you have a trigger. It doesn't happen. It's not a regular trigger, but it is something actually triggers you to actually have a craving. And then maybe you don't crave at all. Maybe, some people have different ways that they handle stress. So maybe it's not food that is the culprit for you. So if that's you, chime in. Absolutely. And so what is the takeaway message from all of this? So it is important to have a realistic plan to get healthier. Okay. You're going to hear me talk a lot about that going into the new year. You don't want resolutions. You don't want to just say, oh, I'm going to lose 50 pounds without any markers or any kind of guidelines or any kind of roadmap. You want to have a realistic plan that sets you up for success. So at the end of the day, weight loss takes time and improving your health outcomes takes time. Changing behaviors take time, okay? Unlearning things you've been doing for years takes time. And and to put it this way, it takes time. If it takes time, if you want it to last, okay? If you want it to last for the long haul and really to become part of your life, it takes time. So it's a marathon. It's a journey. It's not a 100-meter dash, okay? And so a quick recap of our 3 mistakes that will really rob you of your energy levels, sabotage your weight loss, and it fuels your uncontrollable cravings. Okay, not eating enough real food. Okay, so that's when we're kind of talking about the diet foods. You're not getting enough sleep, at least 7 to 9 hours, and or you're severely restricting calories or carbs, especially for extended periods of time, because that will impact your metabolism. It will impact your sugar levels. It'll impact all kinds of things, okay? Especially if you're on meds for managing your sugar levels. So it will impact. All right? And so stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm going to put this message up here. We're going to have a 3-day challenge that's going to start off. That's going to kick us off for the new year. That's going to happen right after the new year, okay? And so this challenge is really designed to really help you to start seeing what healthy eating looks like and how to put that into practice, the things that I talk about on a regular basis. So I will share all the details on that next week. And so between now and then, I want to share, I'm excited. So I've had a 3-day meal plan. And so now we have a 5-day meal plan that has your plans, your recipes, your prep guide, and your itemized grocery list to guide you every step of the way, to tell you what to eat and when to eat. And so this is a plan that you can have definitely after the holidays. And you can actually pick out certain meals certain snacks, if you to have something to fuel yourself with on actual Christmas Day, so that you are not starving yourself leading up to that big meal, and then therefore eating a way more than what you normally would have eaten. So if you're looking for some ideals on how to put all this to practice, looking for a plan, something to do to kind of reset after this Sunday, then download this. It is free, and I'm excited. We have new recipes, and again, it extends out to 5 days. All right. And I am going to put this in the comment section as well. And so you all can actually copy and paste it. All right. And so I'm excited about this. And so with this meal plan, think about having a surge of energy. Okay. So during the journey of this 5 days, you will experience an increase and boost in your energy levels because you're eating throughout the day. You're fueling your body throughout the day. You're going to have satisfying meals, things, and you're going to feel satisfied. So that's going to help curtail those sugar cravings or any kind of cravings you have. And starting the process of waking up more energized, having more energy, sustainable energy throughout the day. Because if think of food as like an extended release of energy for you to have, and so therefore you're fueling your body throughout the day to help you from feeling sluggish around that 2 to 4 time frame, where most of us tend to feel a little sluggish. So, and added bonus, you will feel less bloated. You will begin to jumpstart some weight loss. So check it out. Let me know what you think about it. All right. So I'm really excited about it. Really, really excited about it. And so this concludes what I have for this week of your dose of wellness and nutrition news for your mind, your body, and soul. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in live. And thank you for listening to the replay. I will look for comments and respond to you throughout the week as I see them. And so next week, we are going to continue with week 2 of this special 3-week series of weight loss, healthy eating. Why is it so hard? We're going to talk about the gym or exercising. We're going to talk about working out, how you hit it hard with your exercise or in the gym, and you're still not seeing the weight come off. So that is a big one where you're working out, you have a trainer, you're taking group classes, you're doing this stuff 5 and 6 days a week, and you are still not seeing the results, either in the mirror, on the scale, or both. So we're going to talk about that a lot. All right. And so bye for now. And thank you for tuning in, and have a great rest of your day. Be blessed.